Joe's Inner Child Podcast.
Are there any parallels between this movie and the other horror films you've done, like Medusa?
Yeah. So it's funny because I had never done horror before moving back to the UK, and I did a couple with another company, but Scott, one of the producers, worked with that company too. So he brought me into Proportion Productions, and then Clown Doll was my first horror with them. And then there was Cupid, and then Medusa, actually, I think I filmed after Hellcat. We filmed it we definitely did, because it was like just after the first lockdown. I really like that one. That one's coming out soon as well. I'm excited for people to see that.
Oh, that one's not out yet?
Not yet. Well, it had a release in a horror festival, but it's not officially out. It's not released anywhere. It just had a showing. And then, so in the Soho Film Festival, but Soho Horror Fest, but it will be released properly later. So this one's actually releasing first, but those are two of my favorites, like Hellcat and that one.
Okay. And then, am I wrong, or are you gearing up for, is it Jurassic Island?
Oh, that one we also filmed. There are a few that we filmed like after. The orders of this are so funny. It's just like so fast paced. We filmed that one again, I think after maybe just before the second lockdown. I forget where it was, but it was some point last year. So we did.
2020 was so long.
It's a blur, absolute blur.
So yeah, go on.
But I did film it. That was the last one I filmed, Jurassic Island. Again, I'm really intrigued to see that one. The location, it was originally meant to be Tenerife. We were meant to film it in March, but then obviously that got pushed back a bit, and then we didn't do it abroad. We did it in, oh gosh, I don't remember where, but somewhere in or around England.
So that's your first step into the Jurassic franchise, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely. Because sorry, I've completely ignored the question you'd said before. With horror, the parallels between this and the other ones, I would say, this story is so different. Hellcat is so different. It's like there's always some sort of strange. For a horror, you need a strange character. You need something weird because it's not normal what happens in a horror.
Yeah. Especially in hell.
Exactly, but this is hell. This is very different characters than I've ever seen in anything before. So that, and the story is so interesting. It gets compared to this a lot, and I agree. It's kind of like Mortal Kombat-esque.
Yep, that's what
mixed with horror. So it's really, really a whole different premise than I've worked on before. But Jurassic, I've never done dinosaurs before. The snake one is like kind of more of a psychological thriller, even though there are horror aspects. And this one's more of like a fight thriller. Like I'd done some straight horror before, but everything now is kind of merging genres, which I find really cool.
Exactly. I love exploring the different subgenres. And with Jurassic Island, can you tell me anything about the size of your role or the character that you play?
Sure. So that is another one where it's a really what I love about working with Proportion Productions is they give me the potential to play characters that I would never get to play in any other realm. Like they really allow me they push me. So the character in Jurassic Island is an army girl, and again, so it kind of like it's a strong character. She is the lead, which is awesome, and she's kind of trying to save her father who's gone missing on this island, and her grandfather had gone missing on the same island. I think that's probably what I can do without spoilers again.
Yeah.
It's a really like awesome role in that it really kind of pushes what I look, because I'm tiny. I'm 5'1". I don't look imposing. I don't have like I don't have a huge amount of fight training. I don't look like I'm an MMA fighter or in the army. So the fact that they're letting me try out these roles is insane.
Did you bring your same stunt double to that movie with you?
No, so that one is again it's a lot smaller cast. Because that one was during the pandemic, and there's not that many stunts. It's more about the dinosaurs, and you can't really fight a dinosaur,
right?
So it's more of like the special effects, and I'm trying to think. There was a guy on that called Ricardo, who's the one who was also in Hellcat. He was a pro wrestler, so he has some solid like knowledge and training in that. So there were a few like things where there's some disagreements between cast members, like in the film, and he came up with some like very simple choreography for me to do to kind of hopefully make it look like it's realistic, and I'm a bit of a badass. So we'll see if it works.
Nice. It's always great to be perceived as a badass, but you're the lead in this movie. That's awesome. Have you been a fan of the franchise prior to becoming involved with this Jurassic World?
Just like the general Jurassic films?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who isn't? And this one because I got attached to that, I think 2019. So I'd been excited for this for a while, and I was like, and it's so different because I'd done such a string of horrors. I was really excited to kind of just go into a fantasy kind of realm, but really fitting with the kind of style. It's like it's not pretty. It's like it really does. Well, the scenery is stunning, but it's like it really does kind of go into the gritty characters, and it doesn't try to romanticize the scenario that's happening.
Sort of like Hellcat, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about parallels. There you go. What's it like though because with there's a lot of prosthetics that you had mentioned in Hellcat, and you had mentioned like the work that goes into that, even in a movie that you shoot in just 1 week, with a production like Jurassic Island. I know you did that during the pandemic, and I'm sure it was a skeleton crew. But it's not prosthetics so much as you're working with dinosaurs that aren't actually there. So can you talk about that process of what exactly it was like, or what you did during that? Is it just little tennis balls, or what is it actually like when you're working in a movie with dinosaurs?
Oh, because I've never worked with CGI before, like where there's going to be CGI in a movie, because we were going to film a shark movie in March at the same time as the dinosaur one, which would also be a CGI one. So, but because we didn't do either of those, it was like the first time I'd ever worked in that way. And so there was a green screen every now and again. So they'd pop a screen up and be like, this is where it's going to be. And they hold it on there, but then they turn around to you. And I remember there was one bit where, because you need the same eye line as the other actor, otherwise it looks like you're looking at two different dinosaurs or like something like that. So I remember I was with the actor and we were like, where do you want the eye line to be? And we were like, okay, this leaf is the dinosaur now. And we just both had to make sure we were looking at the same leaf.
Literary Joe's Inner Child Podcast.